The whole world is talking about the new king, now that his mother, Queen Elizabeth, is no longer alive. His name is King Charles III, the same man who's been a part of some pretty big controversies, like the fact that he cheated on the well-loved Princess Diana with the current Queen Consort Camilla.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Or the fact that he has a few really weird quirks that soon you will hear about in this video.
Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing. That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today.
And so now with this new controversial king, many people are wondering, what does a new king mean for the world? Are Asia, Africa or the Americas affected? Why did many people want Prince William to be the king instead? And most importantly, how far detached from regular humans is King Charles? Sit tight as we tell you how Britain's new king affects the world. First, let me tell you the truth. This man has no idea what it's like to be a regular person. From the moment he was born, Charles felt like he was just a living public property. With all eyes on the future king, his whole life was all about living like a royal and not a normal person. Drinking tea like a royal, having servants like a royal, thinking like a royal. And this spoiled him to the point of having some really weird quirks. In fact, listen to this. King Charles is said to dislike square ice cubes, that he has his own person who keeps a stock of round ice cubes to put into his drinks when he travels. Who does that? But while the king developed some spoiled royal quirks, he also faced very unique challenges no regular human ever has to face. From the day he was born, he was suffocated by the royal expectations. And in all of this, it certainly doesn't help that the world remembers him most for cheating on Princess Diana without considering that perhaps it was Diana who cheated on him first. If you care, do your research and you will find the answers. That, him being spoiled as a royal, and many more controversies are most likely why. Many polls show that King Charles' popularity is quite low. In fact, almost half of British people think he should step aside for William to be king instead. But no matter what people think, royal law is royal law. King Charles has waited 7 decades just to get to this moment. And we are about to learn how this will impact the world. A king who waited for this long might say and do things that could impact the global economy.
Prince Charles tells me that companies are finally realizing they are the key to fighting the existential threat of climate change.
Or perhaps, with no one caring about him, UK will face a big decrease in tourists who come to visit the castle. This is not easy, especially at a time when the UK is re-establishing its place after Brexit and when they just welcomed its new Prime Minister. King Charles has to prove to the world that the monarchy is still worth keeping alive, or else bye-bye, royals. But let's not be too negative. Truth is, King Charles has some potential. Love him or hate him, he championed environmental causes way before it was fashionable.
Nature herself has her own rights, and we have a responsibility to try to remember that.
Since the 90s, he has been warning the world about climate change and has been tirelessly campaigning for causes that fight for conservation.
I've always felt that we're over-exploiting and damaging nature by not understanding how much we depend on everything that nature provides.
Meaning, King Charles could establish his legacy as the climate king.
The only limit is our willingness to act. And
The time to act is now.
Only time will tell. It will forever be true that the Queen Elizabeth can never be replaced. But that also means that King Charles now has the power to establish his own unique style of leadership that the world is about to see and hopefully be changed for the better. Until then, God save the King.